Hello everyone, it's me, Juan Gaming for the 4 back in video. Today, yes, we're back. And today we're going to be reacting to Film Theory, Spongebob Isn't Dumb. Or rather, he's an evil genius. Now, that is bizarre, to say the least, but let's be honest, we're kind of in the midst of the whole Alex Bale train with the Spongebob theory, so I mean, like, at this point, I'm believing in anything at this point with the Spongebob lore. But yeah, it's gonna be all film theory, so let's just see how this goes. In case you enjoyed content like this, make sure you like the video so I know you guys enjoy, and comment down below what you guys think. Comment down below what you guys want me to react to next. And, be sure to subscribe if you enjoy content like this. But without any ado, let's go.
SpongeBob SquarePants isn't stupid. Yeah, despite playing dumb and innocent for the past quarter of a century, SpongeBob SquarePants is actually a secret genius. And when you take that to the logical extreme, this adorable yellow rectangle might have some truly dark intentions.
Oh, great.
Hello, Internet.
And what's his master plan, and why didn't Clayton figure it out?
U is for you and me, N is for anywhere and anytime at all, so why not subscribe for new videos every week? So at this point, no one needs an introduction to SpongeBob SquarePants. I mean, everyone knows him. Absorbent and yellow and porous is he. And if you don't know him, you're basically living under a rock with Patrick. Honestly, one of the most impressive things about SpongeBob SquarePants is just how much staying power it's had. The show first aired on Nickelodeon all the way back in 1999.
Dang.
Last century, and it's never left. It has a pretty classic cartoon formula. SpongeBob and his friends get into some silly adventure every week in the town of Bikini Bottom. Some slapstick comedy ensues. At least 2 memes are born. Complete disaster is averted,
yes, the
and everything
memes.
starts all
Very
over again
good
next
memes.
episode. It's a classic format that's created some of the most iconic parts of internet culture. Seriously, there's a meme you almost certainly recognize from basically every single episode of the show. And with a brand and characters that strong, it feels like everyone knows their deal, right? Mr. Krabs is greedy, Squidward is a tortured artist, Sandy is from Texas, Patrick is dumb as rocks, and SpongeBob himself is so naive and innocent that it borders on him being a complete idiot. Or is he? Is SpongeBob actually a secret genius? An intelligent mind up there with the likes of Newton, Einstein, and Oppenheimer? I mean, okay, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Having just proving that he isn't stupid would be a good start.
Yeah.
Okay, just to be straight up with you loyal theorists, when the team first came up with this idea in our writers' meetings, I thought it was both incredibly silly and incredibly fun. And honestly, those are the best types of episodes.
Yeah.
We're watching an old school cartoon and taking it way too seriously.
Write that down, write that down.
That's some dumb fun and I'm here for it. And honestly, when you do look at the evidence, there's a shocking amount of it pointing to SpongeBob being much more intelligent than he lets on. And if we keep pulling that thread, soon it becomes clear that he's doing something truly dark and vile with that intelligence.
Dang.
All for his own sick amusement. Yes, really. So are you ready, theorists?
Aye, aye, Captain!
I can't hear you!
Aye, aye, Captain!
Let's go! So
Alright, let's see.
That a lot of the secret ingredient for the formula of a SpongeBob SquarePants episode is that SpongeBob here isn't exactly the sharpest spatula in the kitchen. His lack of intelligence and seeming innocence are a huge component to basically every plotline.
I mean, I wouldn't say SpongeBob is dumb. I mean, like, back in the earlier seasons, like, yeah, he was naive, but at the sense, he knows what to do. Like, he's not smart, but he has at least some knowledge. But when you compare him to, like, the new episodes, it's like they literally made my boy dumb. Like, Dragon Ball Super Goku dumb, to be honest. And I'm not gonna lie. I mean, yeah, it's to keep SpongeBob going, but, like, still though, like, I kind of miss SpongeBob back in the earlier seasons. Like, he's dumb, but, like, he's not that dumb.
In the show, and hey, scientifically that makes sense. Yeah, sea sponges, which SpongeBob is based on, actually don't have brains or even a nervous system. Yeah, they're just kind of vibing out there in the ocean, just chilling out. So checks out that SpongeBob would be brain dead. Yeah. Well, here's the thing: SpongeBob isn't a normal sea sponge without a brain. In fact, we have a lot of proof that SpongeBob does have a brain. And not only that, but a big one, like human-sized and shaped. And because of that, when he wants to, SpongeBob shows a lot of factors of intelligence. For example, in the episode Squid's Day Off, SpongeBob is able to quickly and accurately shout out tons of ways to make change for $1.
Do you want 4 quarters, or 10 dimes, or 20 nickels, or 100 pennies, or 1 quarter, 3 dimes, 7 nickels, and 10 pennies?
Now, if it were just those smaller breakdowns like 4 quarters or 10 dimes, easy peasy. But start getting into the larger and varied numbers, that can quickly become challenging. This right here is an example of mental math and shows SpongeBob's strong numerical reasoning skills and ability to quickly process
My man is
information.
skillful.
All of these mental skills engage the parts of the brain responsible for memory, attention, and logical thinking. And studies have shown that, in general, people who master mental arithmetic will have a higher IQ than those who don't. For what that's worth. But it's not just math that shows this sponge's brain power. SpongeBob is also very artistic, way more so than other characters like Squidward.
Dang.
Shown time and time again.
What's with the strength of Squidward?
Basically no effort. SpongeBob is able to draw a well-rendered face, fold paper origami,
Uh-huh.
sculpt a block of marble into a finely detailed statue.
Yep.
All of this alone would be incredible works of art. But on top of that, more studies have found that creative people typically have a higher IQ. Again, for whatever that's worth. Sculpting that statue in particular would require SpongeBob.
Yeah, it would also mean that those who are creatively like higher, those who are creative, like just are smart because like they can look like crossword puzzles or like crossword puzzles or what else like they're more organized essentially.
To have incredible spatial intelligence. That's the ability to visualize and manipulate 3D objects in your brain. Basically, it's transferring a mental image you have in your head into the real world. And as someone who's tried making those clay pots and statues before, I can tell you firsthand that this is not easy, especially with something as
Definitely.
unforgiving as marble.
I know that class. It was tough. I still have the mug, and oh boy.
Played at the Super Bowl. Even SpongeBob's choice of career as a fry cook could hint at his intelligence. Yeah, high-class chefs in higher-end restaurants are considered higher intelligence individuals. And hey, that makes sense. They need to problem solve quickly, make decisions constantly, prioritizing certain dishes over others, and adapting to variables presented by each ingredient. All of those are critical thinking skills often used to measure someone's IQ. Now, you might be thinking, hey, SpongeBob isn't really a high-end chef. He's a fry cook at a fast food restaurant. Can that really apply here? And the answer is yes. While we may not traditionally associate flipping burgers with intelligence, SpongeBob is different. And there's a big switch. When SpongeBob's transferred to a fancy restaurant, his work is revered by the chef, who praises his culinary skills.
Yeah, I remember that episode.
Customers love his cooking so much that when it's time for him to go back to the Krusty Krab, no one wants him to leave. They straight up cling to his leg to make him stay. And then in the episode Neptune's Spatula, SpongeBob's cooking is so good that King Neptune spits out his
god
to enjoy it a second time. There are just tons and tons of more examples, but you get the idea.
I mean, what can I say? SpongeBob is a chef. My boy is straight cooking in the kitchen. Tell him to never drop the spatula ever. I mean, if your cooking of the Krabby Patty is so good that you even got the gods to acknowledge it, and heck, even Neptune was about to take SpongeBob with him. Like, there could have been altercation. There could have been an alternate timeline where SpongeBob just gets taken by Neptune and he's now chefing up in Neptune's kitchen. Like, and you also got Squidward. Squidward, mind you, who hated Krabby Patties and decides to eat them up. Like,
SpongeBob has nearly unmatched culinary skills on top of his exceptional creativity and ability with math. The long and short of it, SpongeBob is no fool. He may act stupid, but he's an intelligent creature, perhaps one of the smartest in the whole series. So, there, theory done, right? Slap some red text on a thumbnail and let's call this a day. Well, not exactly. Sure, yes, I think we've done more than enough here to explain that SpongeBob is much smarter than he lets on. But, so what? What does that mean for the rest of the series? Well, first of all, in the canon of the show, the fact that SpongeBob is this smart should mean that he should be miserable. Here, let me explain. This actually comes down to how intelligence is portrayed in the rest of the series, particularly with one Squidward tentacle. In the canon of the show, the fact that SpongeBob is this smart should mean that he should be miserable. Here, let me explain. This actually comes down to how intelligence is portrayed in the rest of the series, particularly with one Squidward tentacles. And that comes down to Squidward's anatomy. Yeah, despite the name Squidward, he's actually an octopus. Mind-blowing, right? But for real, this is important because an octopus actually has 9 brains. One in their head where you'd expect to find a brain, and one in each of their tentacles. Because of this, octopods are considered one of the smartest animals in the ocean, and much, much more intelligent than the likes of, say, a starfish or a
Dang.
sponge, like Patrick in SpongeBob. Yeah, like we said earlier, sponges don't actually have brains or a nervous system. And did you know that starfish also don't have brains? Also, a side note, but I guess
They just
SpongeBob
twin
and Patrick
flames for
having
real.
brains really lines up with that theory that Bikini Bottom is an irradiated wasteland from the nuclear tests at Bikini Atoll after World War II. Anyway,
Huh.
several studies and articles have discussed how people with higher intelligence have a higher risk of suffering from depression. One of the factors
Dang.
here, intelligent people often feel misunderstood by the less intelligent people in their lives, which is definitely the case for Squidward. Obviously, this isn't the case for everyone, and it varies from person to person.
Yeah.
Intelligence doesn't have a cause and effect relationship with depression, but sadly, they absolutely are often found side by side in several subjects. And at least in the world of SpongeBob, there is a correlation between intelligence and happiness. In the episode Patrick Smartpants, Patrick suddenly becomes very intelligent after a bit of misadventure with
Yeah,
SpongeBob.
and it
All of a
waged a
sudden,
friendship
he's no
between
longer
him
amused
and
by
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob's antics, and the two grow apart. But by the end of the episode, well, I mean, just listen. Knowledge can never replace friendship. He realizes that he'd rather be stupid and happy than sad and alone. And this is also what's driving Squidward. He feels just so much smarter than everyone else in Bikini Bottom that it's left him feeling isolated and misunderstood. So, if SpongeBob is actually smart, and being smart in this world seems to make you miserable, why isn't SpongeBob miserable all the time? Shouldn't he be just as sad as Squidward or Patrick when he had his big Markiplier brain? Maybe,
Ha.
but perhaps SpongeBob is finding a way to vent that sadness, that frustration, taking those negative feelings out on someone in particular, making someone else's life absolutely miserable to make his own just that little bit better.
Dang.
Yeah, you know how Squidward always seems sad and seems to hate SpongeBob? Maybe that isn't just because he finds SpongeBob annoying. Maybe it's because SpongeBob is intentionally hurting Squidward, mentally, emotionally, and physically.
Dang.
Yeah, okay, listen, I know that's a big claim. I get it. It's out there. But when you go back and watch the series looking for moments where this
Listen. Okay. Listen, I'm not saying I'm SpongeBob's day one, all right? Okay, listen, I'm not trying to say that I'm SpongeBob's day one, but that just feels a little out of character for SpongeBob. Like, why would he intentionally? I mean, look, it's one thing for, pretending that he's dumb, right? It's fine that he's pretending. I mean, heck, I can think of a lot of people who, like are smart, but like, hey, what? I mean, like, I mean, yeah, it's one thing to act dumb, but act dumb so you can purposely annoy someone else? That seems a little too out of character for SpongeBob. I mean, I don't think SpongeBob would dare do something like that, but I'm gonna just keep watching the video and see what proof you have.
happens comes up surprisingly often. For example, sometimes SpongeBob will take the pranks that Squidward pulls on him and turn them on their head, making them backfire on Squidward. In the episode Funny Pants, Squidward tricks SpongeBob into never laughing again because it annoys him, resulting in SpongeBob falling into a deep depression. This causes him to cry loudly, a sound that Squidward ultimately hates even more. I think I found the one thing I hate more than his laugh. In Naughty Nautical Neighbors, Squidward tricks Patrick and SpongeBob into no longer being friends after their laughter ruins his cooking.
Yeah.
But they both just end up independently annoying Squidward even more than before. And in the episode Squid on Strike, when both characters go on strike, it ends with both of them out of a job. And SpongeBob ends up just annoying Squidward all day, every day. You get the point. Basically every time
I mean, okay, that last point kind of feels a little off. Because I remember that episode. It's because, Mr. Krabs, it was just being Mr. Krabs, charging them, even for breathing. Like, can you imagine your boss if you have a boss? But could you imagine a boss basically charging you to breathe? Like, dang, okay, you just want me to held my breath the entire day. So of course SpongeBob and Mr. Squidward had to go ahead and go on strike. Heck, SpongeBob didn't know that he was gonna get fired. I mean, Squidward knew, but he neglected to tell SpongeBob. And the whole, SpongeBob twirling around and annoying Squidward, that was just an hallucination. That was just in Squidward's head. But I will say, in terms of what SpongeBob did, that kind of annoyed Squidward. Um, like Squidward and Mr. Krabs were just talking like late at night. SpongeBob, on the other hand, he went to the Krusty Krab and dismantled everything. Like tore the Krusty Krab apart overnight. Like take off the bolts and everything. And the episode end with Mr. Krabs saying, "To make sure that you boys pay back for destroying the Krusty Krabs, the Krusty Krab, you two will be working for me forever." Thus, SpongeBob and Squidward essentially being forced to be workers with Mr. Krabs for life. So the whole annoying SpongeBob bit, I'm not sure, man. You might have to deduct points on that one.
Tries to control or hurt SpongeBob, it never works as planned. It always backfires. No, it would be easy to point to all of this and just say that it's normal animated TV karma. Squidward was mean, so he has to face the consequences by the end of the episode.
No, not the
SpongeBob
sea
don't really
bears.
have to be involved in all of that. The reason for it, and hey, I hear you, but that doesn't take into account all of the times we see SpongeBob trick Squidward himself. Just a few examples. In the episode Idiot Box, SpongeBob and Patrick are having fun in a cardboard box.
Uh-huh.
But when Squidward wants to see what's in the box, he sees nothing. SpongeBob explains that Squidward just has no
Nation.
He can see that this basically triggers Squidward and ends up with Squidward sneaking into the box later and pretending to drive a race car, though in reality it's just a garbage truck taking him to the dump. SpongeBob kind of broke Squidward's mind here and left him in a terribly embarrassing situation. But it doesn't stop there. It's not just his ego he hurts. He also hurts Squidward's wallet. In the episode...
Okay. I wouldn't really say SpongeBob was at fault here. I mean, like, okay, sure, maybe SpongeBob could have, let Squidward in the box. No. He did let Squidward in the box, but it was just beep boop, beep beep beep. Like, when Squidward was in the box with SpongeBob and Patrick, they were just closing their eyes and doing robot noises like beep beep beep. Alright. But as soon as Squidward leaves the box, and now it's just like SpongeBob and Patrick are going stupid in there. Plus, Squidward was the one that went into that box himself, and heck, in the end of the episode, I'm pretty sure SpongeBob and Patrick saying, "Hey, the box is missing." Like, I don't think they knew that. I don't think they know they were. I don't think they would guess that the box was being taken by the garbage men. So, I mean, like, I don't think that was on SpongeBob.
The paper, SpongeBob goes all out, making just a single piece of paper appear so valuable to Squidward that he ends up trading everything he owns for it, only for Patrick to come along and use it to throw away chewing gum, leaving Squidward with nothing.
Dang.
And if that wasn't enough, he even gets Squidward physically injured in life-threatening situations. In the camping episode, SpongeBob warns Squidward about the dangerous sea bears and all of the things that can attract them. Squidward, of course, doesn't believe in sea bears and does all of the things that SpongeBob warns against. And when Squidward questions why a sea bear doesn't show up, SpongeBob says,
"Maybe it's because you're not wearing your sombrero in a goofy fashion."
And of course, a sea bear immediately shows up and attacks Squidward. SpongeBob could have just done nothing here and spared Squidward from that pain.
Huh?
Instead, my man more or less used reverse psychology and got Squidward mauled by a sea bear. And man, this isn't even the only time this sort of thing happens. In jellyfishing, SpongeBob takes...
Okay, look. Listen, Squidward set himself up for this, okay? He set himself up, okay? If someone tells me that this will attract a bear, I am doing everything in my power to make sure I don't attract a bear. I prefer to live. Okay, Mr. Squidward was just playing with his life right now. Oh, this one.
Squidward to go jellyfishing while he's in a full-body cast, leaving him to be attacked by the mother jellyfish. In restraining SpongeBob when Squidward burns his hands, instead of pouring water on it to soothe the injury, SpongeBob accidentally pours it on the floor first, before Squidward's whole body ends up in a frying pot. And then in Choir Boys, when Squidward...
Okay, but again, that was just SpongeBob being dumb, but I don't think he was intentionally trying to do that. And besides, Squidward should have watched where he was putting. I remember putting my hand on the oven once while it was still on, okay? That is hurtful, okay? That's why you gotta make sure you watch where you put your arm. Okay, that was on Squidward that one time. And as for the jellyfishing one, ooh, I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember the jellyfish one. But I mean, yeah, maybe they could have left Squidward at home, but it's fine. It's fine, I guess.
Is trying to ignore SpongeBob? SpongeBob decides.
This giant pothole ought to get his attention.
And this straight up causes Squidward to crash and get launched into a jellyfish field where he gets electrocuted. And just the cherry on
Dang.
top here, we know for a fact that SpongeBob isn't innocently stumbling into these actions that hurt Squidward. No, he's deliberately annoying him, deliberately hurting him, aware of just how much he gets on Squidward's nerves and how much pain he causes him. Here, check this out. When SpongeBob celebrates the day that he and Squidward first met, the photo album full of his favorite memories of Squidward, they're all just Squidward being miserable or straight up in physical pain. SpongeBob has designated days that he especially annoys Squidward.
Do you know what today is?
Annoy Squidward Day.
No, silly. That's on the 15th.
This guy
Huh?
straight up has annoying Squidward marked on his calendar. And when Squidward even communicates that he dislikes SpongeBob, that he wants him to stop, SpongeBob acknowledges that he knows. SpongeBob,
Yes, Squidward?
you know I hate you, right?
Yes, I do.
And even
Dang.
when Squidward tries to get a restraining order against SpongeBob to protect himself, SpongeBob instead just gets Patrick to act as a middleman, resulting in more agony for Squidward. Really? This right here? This adorable, childish sponge? In a show where there isn't really a true, obvious evil villain?
Dang.
Aside, he is the true menace. SpongeBob SquarePants is constantly torturing his neighbor Squidward, tricking his mind, playing with his emotion, and breaking his body. And if this pattern holds, he may start expanding his reign of terror outwards. I mean, what else could explain the fact that he hasn't been able to pass a driving test for over 20 years, and he keeps torturing poor Mrs. Puff? Really? His
Huh.
big, dumb rampage against Bikini Bottom has only just begun. But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory.
Alright, and that's gonna be the video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like the video so I know you guys enjoy, and comment down below what you guys think. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really rocking with this. I mean, okay, first of all, I will say that, okay, yes, SpongeBob does do things to annoy Squidward, but let's not pretend that Squidward's the victim here. Sometimes he tends to do things that backfires on him. And I mean, like, but okay, it is kind of wild to say annoy Squidward Day. Like, what is that? And that SpongeBob literally labeled that like it's a national holiday. Like, that day is just as important as Valentine's Day and Christmas. But I don't know, like, I just don't see SpongeBob being the antagonistic role, to be honest. And I mean, like, first of all, that is a shame. Throwing that, first of all, that's straight up blatant. Not really have this show not having any real villains. Like, dang, poor Sheldon. Poor Sheldon. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, what do you guys think? Do you guys think SpongeBob is intentionally doing this, or is it just cartoon fun? To me, I just feel like it's cartoon fun, and I mean, like, there were still some wholesome moments between SpongeBob and Squidward. Like, Squidward does show he cares, but I don't know. I just don't feel like SpongeBob would go out his way to be antagonistic. It just doesn't feel like it, to be honest. I mean, maybe if he was wearing that green leech, I think. I don't know what was that episode called, and I don't know what it was called, that green thing that was stuck on his head. But, I mean, like, shoot, I don't know. But, if you guys enjoyed the content like this, be sure to subscribe so that way you'll never miss out a video. This is Juan Gamer 54 signing off.